Hello everyone, I am trying a couple of things here with the new GoPro Media kit, but I also wanted to share with you my 1 year anniversary, month-iversary, I think, with the GT3. A few things I learned, what did I do, and in general just get some good sound going from the car. I'm curious to see how well this sound gets captured by the microphone of the GoPro. So we are going to just drive around and tell you how it went. 1 year, approximately 1,500 miles I did 4 track days. I did 2 oil changes. Call me crazy, but I like to change oil as frequently as I can. I changed the transmission fluid once, and I changed the brake fluid. So this is the stuff that I've done to it. So far it's been super reliable, no issues with the car throughout the year. This car made me sell 2 cars that I had, and I think I got to an age. Sorry, there is a tunnel. We get to an age where you don't have enough time to enjoy everything, but quite simply, this car, I just wanted to drive this car all the time. So I sold Mercedes-Benz SL 600, the 12-cylinder car. Lovely car, very nice, but it's just prone to too many issues, I think. And then I sold the 996 Turbo, which I kind of regret it at times because it was a great car to drive. But I was just driving the GT3 more and more often. Some things that I learned about this car is that, well, first of all, the way it's set up, which is very track oriented, and it got me back into track days, is just not pleasant for the street, which for where I live it's alright, because there aren't really nice roads to drive around Houston, Texas. So the fact that it is a track ready car, that's awesome, that's perfect, and it actually brought me back to doing track days, which I had forgotten. I haven't been to track days for a while. I took it to COTA, Circuit of the Americas. So far in 1 year, and actually 2,000 miles, not 1,500. In 1 year, 2,000 miles has been super reliable. Knock on wood. I did find out a couple of things about this car. Number one, stuff that I didn't like. Number one is the stereo. I know it's a GT3, you can barely hear my voice at all, but the stereo system on these cars is like, think about the Honda Civic. That's a cheaper version of a base Honda Civic radio of the early 2000s, not the new ones. New ones are, even the base Honda Civics have a good stereo system. So that's one thing. It is horrible. The second thing that I found out about this car is that it's a machine, and you really, it's not that I don't like it, but it requires you to treat it almost as a racing machine, right? When you turn it on, you let it run for a while, you get the heat in the engine, you check the oil, you check the oil pressure more often. You just have to treat this car just like an equipment, basically. You don't want me to talk when that is going on, so I'm quiet. So that's one thing. I mean, it really requires you to be on it and to listen to it. To the point that whenever I go to a track day and I'm done, I bring it back home, and guess what I do? Take out the wheels, look with the flashlights if there is any leakage or anything like that. I just I really like to take care of it, and that's what's required by a GT3 owner, in my opinion, especially a 996 and even a 997 GT3. Maybe the more recent ones don't need that special attention, or maybe they just take it to the dealer. I don't know. And then, the third thing that I discovered about this car, again, is not a fault at all, but man, this car requires your full attention. Like, she wants you to be absolutely on top of your game every time you drive it, which is good, because I think there are days when you don't really feel like on top of your game, and you don't drive it if it's not your first and only car. But then you have some other days when you need something that, like a pick-me-up, like a Viagra, I call it a mental Viagra, and for me, this works. That's what really makes me happy. And that's what I really enjoy. And having a car that can do that to you is, for me, is priceless, especially these months of stress that we live in, and all that. So yeah, I mean, overall it's been great. I just got one warning, not a ticket, but one warning. It gets a ton of attention, this car. Maybe it's because it's red, maybe it's because it's freaking loud, maybe because I drive it like a madman, maybe a combination of all three things. It's very possible, but you do get people looking at it, so it draws attention, so something that maybe you don't want. I don't know about that. But then yeah, overall I can only recommend it, again, if someone is really in the mindset of getting into something so raw and so visceral. If you are not, then there are plenty of other cars. I really don't know